Hey everybody, I'm gonna wait for everybody to come online, and I'm actually gonna go live on Facebook today too for my friends who don't have YouTube. Go. Just want to be able to see what I'm doing. Hey friends. Hey friends on Facebook. Oh hi, I don't know who just joined us, but hello on YouTube. Hello. Okay, I'm live on Facebook, you guys, but I cannot see. Oh, hey Ted Silverberg from Hawaii. How's it going there? Wow, that's exciting. Okay, I've got two on YouTube. So you guys, hi love, love, love from Victoria, BC. So good to see you. Um, so I have been doing these live videos for a week and a half now, and I'm basically what we're doing is this is a kitchen party because we're all stuck in our homes and we need something to do to be entertained. So I'm really good at bringing people together. I usually host parties, so that's not happening right now. So I'm basically just hosting these virtual kitchen parties. And what I'm going to do is try to make your lives easier because even me, I have two cookbooks. I'm a chef, but I am getting sick and tired of my own cooking. So I just wanted to share some of the recipe ideas that I have that are easy and healthy for you and your families. I'm going back and forth between cameras right now. You know, they're not always mine. I have some favorite cookbooks, so I'm going to teach you some of the things that I'm making from my favorite cookbooks. So today I'm going to teach you how to make sweet potato pizza crust, which is so good and one of my favorite things to make, and it's a great way to get your kids to eat vegetables. So what I do with my daughter is I make it with sweet potatoes, and then I make pesto to put on top of it, which I've actually already made. And if you want me to show you how to do that in another video, I can. Or actually, it's on. I have a recipe on YouTube. You can go to my YouTube channel and it's there. Um, but it also goes far. So I'm doubling this recipe today. You don't have to do that, but I am. And you can make the pizza crust and then put it in the freezer and then pull it out on a night where you're just losing your mind, which probably is every night if you have little kids. Those of you who are watching who don't have young children at home, I'm a little jealous of you. Just a little. Because there is no time for us parents to process what is happening, um, and still be, you know, the happy-go-lucky parents we want to be. So shout out especially to all of you who are parents with young kids or even in your teens out there. You've got this. We've got this. Breathe. Watch these videos. I'll help you in the kitchen. We got it. Okay. So today's recipe. Oh, and by the way, the hat is because I haven't washed my hair in a few days, and major bags under my eyes from two children waking me up all night long. So this recipe is from my favorite cookbook. It's called, well, it's one of my favorite cookbooks. It's called Blissful Basil by Ashley Malilo. I don't know how to actually pronounce it. But hey Cheryl, how's it going? Good to see you. So this, like the book, I don't know if you can see this, but it's completely stained and waterlogged. Hi Matthias, how's it going in Germany? Um, because I use this recipe so often. So I already did some prep work for you. I took my sweet potatoes and I already baked them. Oh boy, my son is crying now. I'm gonna have to get my husband to come and get him. Hold please. Hey Ted, can you grab Liam because he's crying? Please. Okay. We're rolling with it here because we had a little temper tantrum before with Madison and now Liam is up, so we're just gonna roll with it. Okay, it snowed today in Germany. Wow, is that normal? Not normal? I don't know the weather patterns in Germany or in that part of the world. Okay, I've already baked my potatoes. So I took 3 yams or orange sweet potatoes and I baked them at 400 until they were nice and soft. Like overbake them because you're gonna mash these up and put them into a bowl. See how the skin is just coming off super nicely and easily? Oh yes. Okay. Now, I made, as I said, too many potatoes because I'm doubling this recipe. in this recipe book, all you actually need is 2 3/4 cup of mashed sweet potatoes. So this is gonna be at least double, if not more. And I'm just putting these into a big bowl. If anybody wants to share any of their favorite recipes, the comments that are really working for you during this time, please do. Hey, Jafar, nice to see you. I'm on Facebook too, so I'm looking at both, okay? Because I think I'm going to transition over to Facebook and Instagram for a little while, unless you guys say, no, stay on YouTube. It's pretty normal nowadays. Okay, it's normal to snow in Germany, in case anybody was wondering. Okay, I'm just going to peel the rest of these. I guess I should have done this before too, so you don't have to watch me do this, but oh well, you live and you learn. Oh, I missed that comment. Love, love, love. I'll pop it up in a second. Okay. My voice might be a little scratchy too because no sleep. Man, lack of sleep is a thing. It really affects you, let me tell you. Okay, I'm going to put the skins aside. If you don't have a compost, I suggest you get one because it's good for the planet. Let's see. Oh, you don't have snow in California, right? No, Matthias. Well, we do have snow in California in the mountains, but not in Los Angeles, which is where I am. I put some skin in the bowl, which I wasn't supposed to do. Okay, sweet potatoes in here. I'm gonna mash them down now, okay? Potato masher is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen, and I'm gonna mash it down. Now this is why it's so important for you to have cooked your sweet potatoes all the way through, because otherwise they won't mash properly. Jafar, I've been making Moroccan stew and vegan brownies. Yum. Vote to stay on YouTube. Okay, I can stay on YouTube, Anne. I'll do it all. Right now I've got my phone set up and my computer set up, and I've got my old phone that I have to figure out how to work. I'm not usually very technologically savvy, so this whole thing is making me have to get more savvy. Okay, so we want to mash this up. See how I'm mashing? Mash, mash, mash. I want to mash it until it's pretty smooth, because this is the base of our pizza dough. Okay, and the rest is super easy. I've already, how many years have you been vegan? You know what, Jafar, I'm actually not 100% vegan. I would say I'm 98% plant-based. I had a question of how long have I been vegan. So I'm about 98% plant-based. That's the way I eat most of the time. I have a love-hate relationship with eggs. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. I've been off eggs for a while. Just haven't found the love again on them yet. I don't eat any meat, but I will eat fish sometimes. So, yeah, so, but I became a vegetarian and stopped eating meat in 2009. Okay, here we go. This is frozen, I don't know why. Set up. Here we go. All right, sorry guys. This kind of froze on Facebook. The whole computer just kind of froze, but oh well, rolling with it. Okay, oh, we're back. Sorry guys, if we lost the connection, our Wi-Fi is being a little strange. Okay, so I've got my mashed up sweet potato. This is my base. I'm doubling the recipe. Okay, so in the original recipe, she adds chia seeds. I don't find that you need to. If you want to add chia seeds, what she says, and by she, I mean the author of this book, this is the recipe that we're following. She says 1/2 tablespoon of chia seeds with 1.5 tablespoons of filtered water, and you just let it sit until it gelatinizes. Is that a word? I think it's a word. If it's not, we just made it a word. And then you can put it in, but I'm not going to do that. So the next step is then to add 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of oat flour. Guess what? I ran out of oat flour. Not a big deal, but I'm not running out to the store to get any. Totally fine. I have almond flour, I have millet flour, I have gluten-free flour, I have coconut flour, I have sorghum flour, I have almond. I think I started with almond. I'm repeating myself, but it's okay. So you can use any blend or combination of those. Now, here's a little tip about coconut flour. Coconut flour is like chia seeds they suck up all the moisture. Coconut flour does the same thing. So if you're doing any vegan baking or even cooking in this instance, if you use coconut flour, you're going to use a lot less coconut flour than you would regular flour, because it's just going to suck up all the moisture and dry out your dough or your batter. Okay, so I'm adding a cup because I'm doubling this recipe. But here, hi Liam. But here's also what I want to tell you. You can meet my son and my husband if you want. That's Liam and Ted.
Hi, everyone.
And then we're on YouTube over
Oh,
there.
yeah. Hey, how are you guys? You scared me.
Hi. Hello. It's good to see you. I'll be done soon, okay? And then I'll feed you. Okay? Okay. Matthias says hi. Okay.
Hi, Matthias.
Matthias. So I just put a cup of gluten-free flour, and here's the thing too. Cheryl says hi too. So if you want, I didn't know that about coconut flour. No, yay, you learn something new every day, Carrie. It's my old friend Carrie Janelle. Hi, Carrie and Mateo. So good to see you. Hello. Okay, so I'm actually going to add a little bit more flour because you can have a wetter dough or you can have a drier dough. And I kind of want it to be dry. So even though the recipe is telling me half a cup of flour plus 2 tablespoons, I'm going to probably quadruple this, okay? You don't have to do that, but I am going to do it because I want it to be a little bit more dry. I'm going to give you the original recipe below so that you have the tools to make it as it is. But I'm a rebel. Without a cause? With a cause? With a cause. And I've been making this recipe for so long that I'm kind of I can wing it and it's totally chill, okay? But if you're following the recipe along, you want 2 3/4 cups of smashed sweet potatoes. And Jafar, oats are gluten-free by nature. The reason that somebody just asked if oats are gluten-free. The reason that so many people don't eat oats if they are gluten-free is because of the cross-contamination. So you got wheat fields next to oat fields, and then the wind blows, and then you get gluten contamination. You can get certified gluten-free rolled oats from Bob's Red Mill and probably other places, but people who are super you can't be super celiac, you're just celiac. People who are gluten sensitive or who have celiac, probably they don't want to mess around with oats. You could test it out, and if you get a stomach ache, then you know that it's not the right thing for you. But good news, you don't have to use oat flour. You can use any kind of gluten-free flour that you want. No problem. Okay, so after that step, then we're going to get 2 tablespoons of almond meal, which I forgot to take out of the freezer. Another user tip, any kind of almond meal, nuts, seeds, stuff like that, you want to keep in the freezer because that'll keep it from spoiling and oxidizing, okay? Let's see. How you make this. There'll be 2 crusts. And sounds gonna let me cooking been a fan forever. Oh, that's so sweet, Jafar. Thank you. So I am going to see how it goes. This might make 2 crusts. It might all fit. I got this giant, huge pan right here. Square pan. You don't have to have a round pan. So we'll see how it goes. I'll show you. The recipe that I will put, the original recipe, that I'll put in the comments below later today or later this week, is for 1 crust. Bob's has been tested positive for high levels of glyphosate. You may or may not want to know that. No, I do want to know that. Thank you very much for that. So our friend from Victoria, BC says Bob's Red Mills has been tested for high amounts of glyphosate, which is not something that we want in our stuff. So that will, thank you, inform me to maybe look for other sources. Thank you for that. Okay, see? We all learn in the kitchen party. I'm just the hostess. You guys are the party. Okay, so I just added 2 tablespoons of almond meal. So I don't know if I finished this, but if you have nuts or seeds or meals, you want to keep those in the fridge or the freezer to keep them from spoiling, because the oils and the nuts and the seeds will spoil if you don't. Okay, so now we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of cold pressed olive oil. This one is Costco brand. I don't normally, like I'll use this one for cooking and stuff at low temperatures. And I will use a better one for salads and stuff. Wow. This lack of sleep thing really got my brain all crazy. And actually, I will say, normally, talking of lack of sleep, I'd actually recommend you use avocado oil here instead of olive oil, because olive oil you don't want to cook at high temperatures with. It's okay in this instance, but use avocado oil instead of the olive oil. I'll put that in the notes too. Okay, now you're gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of what is this in my hand? Anybody? Apple cider vinegar. Okay, and we're gonna add 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm not gonna measure. I'm just gonna go beep 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 beep. Totally good. We're gonna add a pinch of organic black pepper. This is the Sprouts brand. And then we're gonna add a little bit. Hey, Julia, nice to see you. And then we're gonna add a little bit of Italian seasoning. If you want to know the exact, I never do anything exact. 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, 3/4 a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning or oregano, and a pinch of pepper. Okay, all of this is now in my bowl, and now I'm just going to take a fork and I'm going to stir it all around. So here's what I'm looking for. I don't want this dough to be too wet. So if as I'm stirring this around, I feel like the dough is too wet, then I'm going to just keep adding flour until I get a sort of consistency of, not necessarily pizza dough, because this isn't going to stretch. There's no gluten in here. So I don't know if you know this, but the way that gluten is formed is when liquid hits the proteins, glutenin and gliadin, in the flour. And that's what starts that sticky foundation. So when you've got like traditional pizza dough or bread dough and you pull it apart like this, it kind of sticks together. That's the gluten network. We don't have any of that here. So that's not what we're looking for. This isn't going to have that kind of elasticity. But if you think of like a dough, like if you've ever made sugar cookies, or if you've ever gotten Pillsbury chocolate chip cookies, you know that dough, it's not stretchy, but it's hard. And that's kind of what we're looking for here. And actually, I am finding that this is nice and doughy. And I think it's because I used a little bit of coconut flour as well, which, as we now know, coconut flour absorbs moisture. So it absorbed up a lot of the moisture for me here, which is fantastic. Hello, dough. If you have not cooked with me before, you need to know that you gotta talk to your food when you're making it. It tastes better if you show it some love. You can think I am crazy. I do not care. I can tell you that it's true, because food is energy. We are energy, and it's true. So laugh at me if you want to. I don't care. I'm at home with 2 small children. It's not gonna hurt my feelings, okay? I've had worse. Okay, this is actually looking really great to me. So, see this? Boop, 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 boop. And it smells really good too. So now, all we're going to do is we're going to take a pan. You can use any shaped pan that you want. If you want to use a traditional round pizza pan, you can. And we're going to cover it with parchment paper. Let me just wash my hands off here. We'll cover it with parchment paper. If anybody out there is still cooking with aluminum foil, please stop. It's not good for you. Please don't do that. Okay? Here we go. If you want to know why, there are lots of studies about it, but there's a link between aluminum foil and Alzheimer's. But that's for you guys to research and for you to have your own opinion about. But I would say, why not err on the side of caution? Okay, so I think Anne was asking me if we're going to make 2 crusts out of this. The answer is I don't know yet. I'm going to see how much of this pan I can cover with this dough, and I'm going to say about 1/4 inch thick, okay? So let's put this on the pan. I'm sorry, I've got my big honking computer here, so I can't turn the camera down for you to see. Maybe I can. Sort of. No, that just makes it worse. It's like, do you want to look at my face or my torso? I don't know. I'll show you when I'm done. For my YouTubers, I think I can tilt the camera so that you can see better. Excuse me. Okay, and the oven is preheating. Oh yeah, there, you can see that now. So the oven is preheating to 400 degrees. Now I'm gonna spread this. I'm gonna use my hands because, oh, I love the consistency of this. If anybody joined me on Friday was funny because we made a recipe. First of all, the thing kept cutting out 1,000 times. I'm just talking to you while I push the pizza crust. Oh, there we go. While I push the pizza crust flat down on the pan. Anyway, so Friday we made these waffles, and I make these buckwheat waffles all the time. All the time. And it was just like the comedy of errors. They didn't work out right. They kept sticking. The camera kept shutting off. Then YouTube removed the first part of the video because I don't know why. I don't know. It was just one of those days. And thankfully my husband came home and I was having a moment and he sent me on a walk, which is great. So anybody who's going crazy out there, go outside for a walk, okay? It helps everything. And take deep breaths too. It really helps. So here's what I'm finding right now. My hands are sticking to the dough. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run my hands under water, shake them off a little, and then I'm gonna smooth my hands over the dough, and now the dough's not gonna stick to my hands. You can do the same thing with oil if you'd rather not use water. Doesn't matter, whatever's on hand. So, and it looks like I'm going to be able to get one giant crust onto this giant pan. This is a very large sheet pan, and I actually can pull out my tape measure and measure it out for you if you want to. In just a minute when I have cleaner hands. But I'm just flattening this pizza crust all the way to the edges of the pan. And my Facebook friends, I promise you, I will show you this as soon as I have clean hands. And YouTube fans, I'm so sorry that parchment paper seems to be in your way. Okay, so I'll just talk you through what we're gonna do after this, and that is we're gonna bake this. Let me just see what she says. Oh yeah. So we're gonna bake this for about 20 minutes. Mile walk, Cheryl, that's great. We're gonna bake this for about 20 minutes. And then after that, that's when you put your creative cap on and you decide what kind of toppings you would like to put on your pizza. What I have a tendency to do is I make pesto. I think I mentioned earlier that I made pesto last night actually. So after this bakes for 20 minutes, then I'm gonna put some pesto on top. And then I usually will make caramelized onions or roasted tomatoes or any kind of pizza topping that you can think of. You can put on the crusts after it bakes for 20 minutes and then put it back in the oven for about 10 minutes. But you do want to make sure, I've got one side that's thicker than the other, and we don't want that because we want it to cook evenly. So if you've got a thinner pizza in one corner and thicker in the other, then you're going to end up with burnt pizza on one side and uncooked on the other. So make sure that it's nice and even. Now I'm going to show you. I realize you cannot see what I'm doing. Okay. Da 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 da. This is our pizza crust. It looks beautiful. It smells beautiful. So we're gonna put it in the oven. You look so fabulous and you're gonna bake so beautifully. Think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, you're gonna bake so well because I'm talking to you. Okay, here we go. Put it in the oven for 20 minutes. Keep an eye on it. I would turn it after 10 minutes. I'm gonna put you guys right here. Right here. So I turn it after 20 minutes or after 10 minutes just to make sure equal opportunity heat because every oven has a hot spot. Does the crust need toppings? Yes, and so I'm not sure if the feed is slower or I just didn't, I don't know, muddled it up. But yes, so this crust, you'll put toppings on. Love your cooking vinegar. Oh, thank you. So this crust, you can put any kind of pizza toppings you want on this crust. If you do eat meat or dairy, I love putting goat cheese on this. I haven't had dairy in a long time, but I used to love goat cheese, so that would be good. Caramelized onions are great. Olives, roasted red peppers, pesto, which I'm gonna do. I don't necessarily think that you'd want to put tomato sauce, traditional tomato sauce on it. I'm thinking no, but maybe after it comes out, you can drizzle it with some extra virgin olive oil and put some garlic on it. I mean, really, you can do whatever you want. And the great thing about this is you can bake it and then cool it and then wrap it up and put it in the freezer and keep it in the freezer for when you just want a quick dinner. Pull it out of the freezer, top it, put it in the oven for 10 minutes at 400 degrees or until your toppings are bubbling and brown and nice, and that's it. So does anybody have any questions about that before I go? Doesn't look like it. So again, the sweet potato pizza crust came from this book, Blissful Basil, by Ashley Melillo. Yes, by Ashley Melillo. This is one of my favorites. So I'm just going to be coming here. Do you post photos? Matthias, what do you mean post photos of what? Yes, crust sounded good on its own. The crust is good on its own, by the way. You don't need to put toppings on it. It's quite fabulous on its own. So yes, you don't need that. Do I post pictures of the baked goods? Sometimes I do. Does Ashley? Do I have a website? I do have a website. It's delectableyou.com. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of malware on that, and the person who's supposed to help me, oh, you're welcome, Ann. The person who's supposed to help me fix the bad code hasn't responded, so I'm still working on that. But all on my YouTube channel, you can find all of the recipes and videos. I also have a cookbook called, where is it? You can get it on Amazon. It's called The Accidental Paleo. And I have another cookbook called The 14-Day Nutrition Reset, which you can get online at delectableyou.com. It seems like people who are Mac users are not having issues on my website. So I think if you're a Mac user, you're safe. If you're not, then you just have to wait until I get the website fixed, because it's 10 years worth of blog posts and recipes. So it gives me a little bit of anxiety to think that it's not up and running properly. What's Ashley's last name? How do I spell it? My name is Lauren Ashley Lobley, Lobley. Anyway, so I'm gonna come here, YouTube, Facebook, try for Instagram. I've got my old phone, so I'll try to figure out this technology stuff. I'm a chef and a mama. I'm not always so good at the technology stuff, so I'll figure it out. And I'll be doing these kitchen parties every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:15 a.m., give or take. If my husband is here and he can take my son and my son wakes up from a nap, then we're good. If my son wakes up from a nap and there's nobody here to help me, then I'll do it later. You can watch the replay or whatever. We're just rolling with these crazy times right now, guys. So I'm going to show you recipes from my favorite cookbooks, recipes that are easy for you to make with your families, that are nutritious, that are healthy, that are plant-based, and just to help you mix it up a little bit, because I know even I'm getting stuck in ruts. So I know all of you watching are probably excellent chefs, so I really appreciate you tuning in, and thank you for sharing this time with me, and that's it. I'm signing off for now, you guys. Have a wonderful day. No, I do not do soy. We can talk about that next time. Jafar. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. It's gonna be a great day. As long as you say it enough times, it will be true. And the sun is shining, so, and the snow is falling, so, you know, we're good. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. Bye, YouTubers. Good to see you.